If you've ever built anything like this, or the Challenger, or the Duster, or any project car, often you run into uncertainty mid build. Experienced builders know how to handle that, and I want to pass on some words of wisdom to you. It's a Talk About It Tuesday, so let's talk about it. I'm Mike. You're watching Mike Our Shop. When you're building something at the molecular level, like I am here on this 39 Dodge pickup, there's a million questions that you won't have answers to. You just have to grab a handful of air and move forward. But even on projects like the Challenger or the Duster, there's times that we run into uncertainty. Apparently, I can't say that word today. We run into uncertainty, and we just have to keep pressing forward in the belief that we're doing it right. It was fascinating to me because I was just watching the project that Fitzy over at Fitzy's Fabrications is doing. He's putting an older Ford cab onto a Crown Vic, I think, chassis. And he had done a whole bunch of work on the firewall to blend the two cowls together on that project. And he welded a whole bunch of stuff and he ended up cutting a chunk back out. And he said something that is so profound. That's normal when you're building hot rods. That's my interpretation, but that's the point. So, Tony, thanks for that bit of wisdom because it really inspired me to talk about this project, but also projects in general. I've been building cars for nearly 50 years. And one thing I've learned over the years is, yeah, sometimes you just got to cut stuff back out. I've been very fortunate on the Stitches Challenger. I can't recall one piece. You tell me if you've watched the build. There's a couple hundred episodes here on the channel. I can't recall having to cut anything out on this project, but that doesn't mean that I haven't had to. The nice thing about this project is, for the most part, we're just rebuilding by hand, fabricating what the factory did already. So we have some guidelines to follow, kind of like the Pirates Code. It's not rules, but mere guidelines. But I want to say something you've heard me say ad nauseum. And many people will say, oh, you did that on the project and you just ruined it. There's no bigger pile of bullpucky in the world than saying you ruined it. The only thing that really ruins a project car is a car crusher. If you welded it in, you can cut it back out. If you bolted it in, you can unbolt it. Cut the crap of saying you've ruined a project. I've talked a lot about that because so many people go to young builders and start saying that crap. And okay, so they put an LS in it and you hate that. It didn't ruin the damn car, all right? Get over it. Sorry, I'm ranting. But here's my point why I'm ranting about that. You're gonna make mistakes. I'm here looking at this 39 today. I've been out here for quite a while looking at it, and I know I screwed this up. I've got to fix this part here. We'll get to that on a hands-on episode. But I'm wanting to be sure that everything is right. Is my tire centered in the fender properly? And I did the maths. I did the research. I know the wheelbase is basically the same between this Duster front suspension and the 39 Dodge pickup. I know all of that, but I had the fender on here and things weren't lining up right. And I'm questioning if I put this in the right. Is it too wide? Is it not where? I'm going on and on and on. Like, stop, Mike. You're overthinking this. Trust your guts. Trust your guts. Even if you're wrong, it's not that big a deal. You can figure it out. When do I go back and cut something out? Very rarely, like I said, but that's because of almost 50 years of experience. When do I go back and cut something out? When it's not going to function properly or it's not safe. Pretty much that's it. I will often look at something and go, if I was doing that again, I would probably do this way instead. Am I going to go cut it out and do it that way? No. My philosophy is learn from this one, apply it to the next one. One of the biggest things that gets builders stalled is, I could have done that this way, or I should have done that way. Or I know one guy who has rebuilt his car 3 times and it's never seen the road. If he enjoys that, I guess that's great. I wouldn't. I want to get these things moving around under their own power, even if they're not perfect. I want to get them going. And we're really slamming on Fundestruck here so that my girl can be driving this truck next summer. And I promised her it may not be licensed and road legal, but she should be able to get into it, turn the key, and putz around with it. And that's the goal. I think we're going to achieve that. This is getting ready to come off of the chassis table in the next month, if all be well. We're going to have things that are mistakes. We're going to have things that we go, We could have, should have done that better. We could have, should have done that differently. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you make it safe and you make it done and you're having fun, that's a winner chicken dinner. If you're young and you're not experienced, I will tell you, you're gonna make mistakes. But always keep it in perspective. Is it safe? Is it done? Could it be better? Maybe. But is it safe? Will it function the way that it is? And is it safe? Those are really the most important questions in any build, whether you're bolting parts on a car, whether you're fabricating a replacement piece, or starting at the molecular level like this and building an entire chassis out of nothing. The only way to become an experienced builder is to build stuff. The only way to gain experience is by making mistakes and by learning. And the more mistakes you make and the more stuff you build, the more experience you get. That's the reality of it. So if you're a young builder and you're overwhelmed, just do it. Just build it. Get some perspective from an old fart like me. Is it safe? Will this work? Ask questions. But I get it. I get it big time, because so many times when we ask a question, some flaming old fart ashtray comes in and starts telling you, you're doing it all wrong. Screw them. You don't need that kind of negativity. If they're not offering constructive criticism, if they're not saying, ooh, well, let's back up here a minute. Let's talk about this. What I'm seeing looks dangerous. Okay, that's different. Okay, that's different than some old fart coming in and telling you you're doing it wrong. So if you want to become an experienced builder, build stuff, make some mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and eventually that's where you end up. All right, that's going to do it for this one. It's my Talk About It Tuesday. I've got mistakes here I got to fix. Probably going to be working on that here soon. But in the meantime, don't forget, it's important.